Hello, everyone. It's your boy Jeff once again with you, with all of us. I'm giving you a virtual hug right now. This is a Spin Zone video, and it's going to be probably, well, we'll see how it goes, but probably a shorter video because I only have I only have 6 things to show. But the reason for that being is that 5 out of the 6 are either a double album, a triple album, or in the case of the last thing I'm going to show, a 4-album set, a quadruple album. So while it doesn't seem like I've listened to a whole lot, I think it's like the equivalent of 14 records among these sets. So, and it takes a little time sometimes to get through, even a double album. So with all that said, we're going to start with brand new releases by Eric Clapton. I'll just hold them both up. They're pretty much, the covers are pretty identical. This is Eric Clapton and the Yardbirds featuring Sonny Boy Williamson. Historic Recordings Volume 1 and Volume 2. The front covers are the same and the back are only different in the song titles they show. These are pretty much what the title says. Recordings of Eric Clapton with the Yardbirds doing a lot of classic blues stuff. All of this material, as far as I know, has been previously released in other sets. Maybe not in this pristine order. Recording, I should say, as these were mastered at Abbey Road Studios. They sound perfect. The records are perfectly quiet. And a lot of the Clapton era Yardbird songs are here. Some are studio, some are live. For Your Love, of course. Good Morning Little Schoolgirl. Shapes of Things, which I didn't know Clapton played on. Jimmy Page even guest stars on a couple of tracks, like Dragging My Tail. And then we've got stuff like Smokestack Lightning, a live version of Good Morning Little Schoolgirl. If you're looking for early 60s Clapton in his blues stage, these albums are pretty darn stellar. I don't know why they had to really release these in 2 separate sets. I almost would have preferred them releasing them in like one big set instead of 2. I don't know. But like with the Volume 2, Freight Loader is a song that also features Jimmy Page. Take It Easy Baby. Do the Weston, which was kind of an interesting song. But yeah, I'm a fan of Eric Clapton. I know he's not everyone's favorite, but when he's in blues mode, like he is in these records, he's one of the best as far as I'm concerned. So these were very interesting records, to say the least. Then one of the this next album is something that my buddy Tim got over at High Noon's Vinyl as VCLT from Jacob from his channel New Sounds and Old. Underworld, Second Toughest in the Infants. He played a little clip of this on his video, Tim did, and my wife and I were watching, and she heard this music, and she's like, I gotta have this. So I was able to find it on Amazon, so I ordered it, and this is really, I'm really starting to get into more of this, like, what would you call it, like house / DJ production, / techno trip hop type music. So this album, I think it came out originally in like the late 90s. Doesn't have a date on here that I can see, but fantastic record, fantastic music, and I just have to give credit where credit's due to Jacob and Tim. So chalk this up to another example of a record I probably never would have learned about had it not been for the VC. So thanks, guys. And, you know, whenever my wife says she wants a record, I get it because, you know, I'm not going to argue. Of course. All right. The one single album in this bunch is a bootleg. I did a trade with Hannah over at the Omaha Introvert about a month ago. And I had mistakenly bought Young Shakespeare by Neil Young twice. And I had a spare copy. And it was still in the Amazon box. I didn't even open it. So I know how much Hannah loves Neil Young. So I reached out and I said, hey, I got this record. You know, do you want to do a trade or something? And she's like, yeah. And she did a quick flip video of stuff that she had available. This was one of them. This is a bootleg of Derek and the Dominoes. It's called Stormy Monday. And it was recorded November 20th, 1970 at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. And I can just hold up the song list. It's, you know, pretty long versions of these songs. Derek's Boogie, Blues Power, Stormy Monday, which carries over into the side 2, and then Tell the Truth. So yeah, she had this, and then there was the Easy Rider soundtrack, were the two that, you know, looked interesting. And I said, yeah, you know, whichever one's in better shape, you know, just send me that one. So not only did she end up sending me both, but she threw 2 more records in also. So super generous. Thank you, Hannah. And yeah, I always enjoy hearing Clapton in his Derek and the Dominoes era. I'm not a super big collector of bootlegs, but like I say, this looked interesting. I like this cover. And it actually sounds really good. The record's in really nice shape. The sound quality is surprisingly good, you know, which is the primary reason why I don't actively collect bootlegs all that much, because the few I have, you know, the sound is kind of hinky, but this one is about the best sounding one of the bunch so far. So Derek and the Dominoes Stormy Monday bootleg was a nice little afternoon listen. Now, these last 2 are some pretty big sets. First one being the Pink Floyd Delicate Sound of Thunder reissue. This is a 3-record set, as you can see, and it comes with a booklet. Expanded from the original album that came out in 1988. That was a double album with 9 extra tracks that weren't originally on that album. So when I saw this being announced for reissue, I just snapped it right up. So like I said, triple album, but, you know, it took a little while to listen to. Let's see if I can just pull these covers out here just to show you, you know, some of the great custom covers that they put for these 3 records. You know, this was during their Momentary Lapse of Reason tour. And just fantastic stuff. I like I said before, I think in my last Spin Zone, I've got, you know, just as many live Pink Floyd as I have studio. But that's okay, because Pink Floyd live is pretty darn good. So yeah, this was a brand new release from a couple of months ago. If you're a fan of Pink Floyd or live Pink Floyd from the late 80s, this would be the one to get. Delicate Sound of Thunder. And last but not least, like I said, this is going to be a shorter Spin Zone, is Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Way Down in the Rust Bucket. This is a 4-record set, and I listened to all 4 records back to back at mid to high volume, and by the time I was done, I swear my head was in a really different place. Here's the back. And these also come with, it was strange. This was shipped in a box, but inside each album was separately shrink wrapped, which didn't make sense to me, but I didn't question it. I just went with it. This came out right around the time of the Ragged Glory album from 1990, which is one of my favorite Neil Young albums. And just about the entire album is played live throughout this set, as far as I know. Most of the songs are Ragged Glory, but I know they do Like a Hurricane. That takes up a whole album side, which is the way it really should. They do Cinnamon Girl, Sedan Delivery, which was a track off of Rust Never Sleeps. Homegrown, I know that was done. Cortez the Killer, and Surfer Joe and Mow the Sleaze, which I think, according to what I read, was the first time they played that live. So I'm a sucker for these Neil Young archive series. You know, I try to resist them. You know, there were a few that I kind of skipped over, but you know, this came out, and then the Young Shakespeare set came out about the same time, and then there was another, like an EP, I think, that was released called The Times, which is on my want list. I'll get to it eventually. I'm just a sucker for these Neil Young Archives albums. I can't help it. They're pressed immaculately. You know, the records play great. You know, care is taken into each of these sets. You know, they're not just slapped together and thrown out there for people to buy. You know, there's each record has its own custom cover. I'm not going to go through all of them. You know, it comes with, you know, a booklet too, I think. And just amazing music. It's loud Neil. It's not soft acoustic folky Neil. This is loud electric Neil with Crazy Horse. So the guitar is front and center, and it takes, your speakers will get a workout playing this set. And you know, it took a good while to get through it. You know, it took a couple hours to listen to this set all the way through. I didn't split it into you know, listening sessions. I just listened to it all the way through, which is really how it should be. But yeah, I think the title comes from when Neil introduced Like a Hurricane. He goes, we're going way down in the rust bucket for this one. And then he starts playing the notes, you know, the opening notes to that song. And everybody cheers. Wish I could have seen them during this time period. But having this set almost makes up for it. And I just love the artwork, and I love how these are all designed. Just beautiful stuff. So I can't resist them. So every time I say I'm done buying, you know, these Neil Young records, you know, another one comes out, and it's like, I gotta get that. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I know. So yeah, that's it for this one. Like I said, not a lot of records, but not a lot of variety in records, but they're almost all multi-record sets. So that's how I'm justifying doing this and breaking my 10 record rule. So plus I haven't spun anything for almost 2 weeks, and these are just sitting there, and I wanted to talk about them before I forgot about them. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to try to be spinning more in the future, but I tend to go through streaks. You know, I won't play anything for a week or two, sometimes longer, and then just like that, I'm spinning records left and right. So it comes and goes, you know, as the job and life allow me. So there you go. Closing out in 15 minutes. Signing off here. Peace, everyone. I'll see you next time.